All right, boys, we're loading up in the truck. We're going to the bank, and then we got to head to North Carolina. We got some stuff to go look at. If we end up getting it, I'll be showing you guys that here shortly. So stay tuned. Hope you guys enjoy. All right, boys, so go ahead and starting off 2022 with a problem. Other than me just busting my ass on camera, we have another problem. And address our problem at hand here. So right here we have a 5.3 LS. Nothing too crazy there. It's not fully built yet. So I'm kind of trying to figure out if that's what I want to do, if I want to build it. If I just want to go ahead and just get it running and drop it in a truck. But I also don't know much about it. The guy didn't know much about it I bought it from. He's got receipts for the work that he bought, from the guy that he bought it from. And then we have this. So here's another 4L60. The one in my truck, yeah, it's kind of gone. I have reverse, third and second. So there's that. Oh well. But here's our issue. So we're gonna go ahead and throw this thing in the truck. We're gonna go ahead and put this thing in probably tomorrow. For me, it'll be a couple weeks for y'all. But we're gonna go ahead and throw this thing in here. And then here's the main thing that we're really focusing on. So in these boxes, I have everything to complete this here build. But for that build, it's gonna go back to complete stock. Stock cam, stock valves, stock lifters, all that. It'll just be completely stock. We have our pistons. There's nothing going on crazy with our pistons. We have a complete rebuild right here. I got this whole setup for a pretty good deal. That's the only reason I even bought it, because it was just such a great deal. I really couldn't pass it up if it's an actual quality build. You know what I'm saying? Like, if this thing ain't actually just gonna blow up as soon as I crank it up, then we actually got a really good deal. The same thing with the transmission. If this transmission actually holds up, I could have bought the transmission alone for the price of this. Supposedly this is a brand new transmission, never been mounted in anything, never been ran, don't even have transmission fluid in it. So it's pretty much just a brand new stock unit. Other than that, I couldn't tell you much about it. He got me the receipt for it, but receipts don't really mean anything. I can go fucking get a copy of a receipt off of anywhere. So, you know, you kind of got to look at that with, yeah, he went enough effort to give me a receipt, but is that receipt valid? And then along with the deal, we got this diff, but the diff, and we got this little spline for it, but this diff is for an older truck, so we're not even gonna be using that. I'm gonna have to rebuild my diff and then put it on there, but that's a whole nother thing. What I'm trying to figure out now is what I want to do with this. I was gonna just build it and then put both in as a one unit, but things have kind of forced my hand, so we're gonna have to just go ahead and throw in the transmission separately and then come back with the motor. But now I'm kind of falling into the rabbit hole of, I want it to chop. If I'm gonna have to wait on it, I want it to chop. I want it to have a badass cam in it. But then I'm gonna fall down the rabbit hole of having to put a bigger torque converter on there, new valve springs. So I'm just kind of falling in a rabbit hole here. Don't know really what I want to do. I'm gonna change this intake, because this intake is just god awful. That's gonna be completely new. So I just have a lot of thinking to do with this here project, but I don't know. I kind of want your guys' help. But how about that? You guys help me. You drop down what I should do, if I should just go ahead and build this thing up, or if we should leave it stock. I mean, the stock 5.3s, there ain't nothing wrong with them. The one in my truck right now that this is eventually going to go into, it's got 300, well, right at 300,000. It's got like 299, like 400. So it's like right at 300K. But yeah. So I have to get ARP head studs, a cam, and just go all the way there and just pretty much rebuild this whole thing. Or I could just put it together how it is and run it like that. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but like I said, if I'm gonna have to wait, I'm gonna spend money on this thing, might as well get what I want out of it, right? But yeah, so pretty much in these boxes, like I said, here's our seals and a lot of our main things. In this box, we have like our compressor, our pulleys, and a lot of the stuff for the front of the motor. Box that we have. We got our alternator, our starter, and then we have an ECM over here. What this thing was originally going to be is going to be in like an 80s model, and it was going to like do like a retrofit where he's going to get a custom wiring harness made and kind of all of that. But he just kind of abandoned that plan. So then he was moving, kind of ran out of time, just didn't really need it anymore. So then he was going to sell it. So then that's where I came a hold and got a hold of this thing. And I mean, from what I can tell, it looks good. I mean, anybody can spray safe foam on this thing and get it cleaned up, right? Anybody can do that. But with the receipts, I felt like it was a valid purchase. Still risky, still a very risky purchase, but I felt like it was still valid enough for me to take that risk and kind of go on. Now, like I said, the main thing of this deal was this transmission. This was the main reason I even considered the deal. But like I said, I don't really know what all holds for that transmission, you know? I don't know if it was overbuilt. I don't know if it was just built back to stock. Like, I don't know anything other than what I have on this transmission. But I know it's brand new, so that's just kind of where I'm at. I don't really know what to do from here. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this motor up tonight. That way, if any moisture or anything gets into the shop, it's not gonna just cover this thing in rust and completely ruin everything we have. So I think that's just kind of gonna be like our storage and our preventative measures there. And we're just gonna kind of go on from there. So I'm gonna go ahead and run over and get some like saran wrap, and then I'll be back here shortly. Boy, so we went ahead and just wrapped this thing up. This thing's locked up like it's in Fort Knox or something. Boy, this thing ain't getting no moisture inside of it. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this video off right here. I'm just gonna leave this thing right here. There ain't nobody gonna use this shop, so we're just gonna leave that there. Tomorrow for me, like I said earlier, tomorrow for me, I'm gonna go ahead and put in the transmission, so y'all can be expecting that video in the next week or two. I might wait a little while, that way to space out some content. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead, get that transmission put in, and then we're probably gonna move on after all that stuff. We'll probably move on with the build for the engine and go from there. But other than that, that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe if you want. If not, that's cool as well. Have a great day.